Hi and welcome to the Year 6 Meet the Teacher presentation. I am Miss Garraway.
And I'm Miss White.
The other adults that we have in Year 6 are our teaching assistants, Mrs. Boys and Mrs. Tiagi. Some important information, basic information, our PPA day, so the sports day is Tuesdays. Every single Tuesday the children will have PE all afternoon. So all their PE teaching happens that day. So they only need to be in kit for a Tuesday this year. They've done well with that so far, so carry on with that. And as the weather gets cold, make sure they are sent with appropriate outdoor kit because they will be outdoor most of the time. If your child has some medication, like an inhaler or other medication, that should have come to us already. But if there's anything that hasn't come to us, that needs to be brought into school as quickly as possible through the office so that you can get your yellow medical form. Remember that the school day has gone back to normal again, so we don't have those staggered starts. So children should be coming into school from 8:45 and getting into their classroom ready to learn for 9. So making sure if your child walks on their own that they're leaving in appropriate time to be here for 8:45. We often do interventions and we do early morning work that starts at 8:45. So having them in the classroom as soon as possible is the best thing. And the end of the day is 3:30. Obviously, lots of the children by Year 6 are walking by themselves, which is absolutely fine. Please let us know where possible if your child's walking alone, just so we know what everyone's doing. And also if they have mobile phones, because they walk, they should have filled in a permission slip, or you should have filled in a permission slip for that. You can get those from us if you haven't got one. School lunches and Week 4 Plus all back to normal, so booking those in the normal way. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the subjects that we cover in Year 6 and the kind of expectations for the children. So for maths, we're covering the whole range, so lots of things that have gone before: place value, addition and subtraction, multiplication, division. We work with numbers up to millions in Year 6. We introduce algebra. We go into depth with fractions, decimals and percentages, comparing those, equivalents, calculating with them, ratio and proportion, measurement, converting measures, calculating with measures, range of different problems, and the same with shape and with statistics. Everything that we do in Year 6 is going to be done through a variety of different problems and contexts to make sure that they are really secure before moving on. We will also look at mastery and problem solving. So with every concept that we learn, we're going to make sure that they're secure with the skill and then test that out through a variety of different presentations of problems. And a variety of word problems as well, much like they will see in the SATS papers, which will come probably at the end of this year. We will still do Math Planet, so your child is continuing from where they left off in Year 5, and we do that on a Friday. So important that your child's practicing those at home. It is one of our only real homework requirements to practice their Maths Planets level. They should know what they're on. We started them already last week, and the different levels and examples can be found on the webpage. Other things that you can do to help, so those kind of real context context things that you can do that real life examples help with, so money, taking them shops, budgeting, things like that. Time, if your child's not completely confident reading analog and digital and working out time intervals, that's something you can really help with. And then the most important thing, I would say, is that timetables are really, really secure. So making sure that they're practicing those all the time if they're not already confident up to 12 times 12. So reading, first of all, we no longer work in a guided reading group kind of a way, so there won't be set pages for children to read, but they should be bringing a book from school. If they've got a book at home that they'd rather read, that's absolutely fine, but every child should be reading through an age-appropriate chapter fiction book, as well as anything else that they are reading. We will check that what they're taking home from school is at an appropriate level, but please, if you feel like they've brought something home that's not right, do let us know as soon as possible and we can check in with that. There's a list on our website of recommended Year 6 reads if you're not sure of the sort of level that would be appropriate. So they, again, reading records should be signed by somebody at home. I understand that often children read by themselves at bedtime, things like that in year 6. But if you can just tick and sign to say that your child has read, that would be great. If they can read to you and you can ask them some questions about what they're reading, then even better. On a Friday, we will take a look at the reading record. So we'll check off how many reads they've got towards their 50 reads, and we'll kind of put our signature in that to acknowledge that we've seen them. Once they've got their 50 reads, they can collect a book from Mr. Winterburn. As well as reading their own books and recording in their records, then we also have reading lessons. So these are 4 times a week where we look at the text that we're doing in our English books and a range of linked fiction and non-fiction, and focus on the year 6 objectives around vocabulary, what words mean, inference, using your background knowledge to understand what a character's doing, predict, explain, retrieving basic facts, and summarising what has happened.
Okay, so in writing this year, like every year, we are going to write across a range of genres. So we're going to do things from stories and recounts to instructions and poetry across the year. We'll be looking at a range of grammar objectives, so things like a full range of punctuation, some different verb tenses, making sure that we're using a range of sentence structures and including dialogue. So the whole point of year 6 is to show the whole range of everything that they've learnt and more in their writing. Spelling, so it's really important that children can accurately spell words from the 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 list. We will put these up on the spelling shed so children can practice these every week, and they are also available on our webpage, so you can download them or print them and practice them at home when you want to. By the end of the year, they must be able to independently identify their own spelling mistakes and correct them without us telling them where they are. So we work really hard with getting them to be able to recognise their own mistakes rather than being told what words they've spelt wrong. This year we are trialling something just in year 6, so spelling will be a little bit different to every other year. So we will not be sending a list of spellings home to test each week like they normally would. Instead, we're going to have weekly and daily spelling lessons where we're going to focus on a range of different rules, and we're going to think about improving our knowledge of spelling in school rather than practicing them and remembering a list of words outside of school. But they can still practice their 3, 4 and 5, 6 words at home with you if you want some spelling to practice. We will be continuing to run Spelling Shed and Math Shed this year. So we will reprint and re-give out username and passwords like they had in previous years. And the year 3, 4 and 5, 6 spelling list will be available on Spelling Shed, and children can also practice their Math Shed to keep up with the basic math skills at home.
Okay, the wider curriculum. So we'll continue to work along the wide range of subjects. So as well as our maths and English, we'll be doing science and geography, history, music, art, DT, religion, PSHE through our jigsaw curriculum, and obviously PE. Not all of these come in every term, but across the year there's a really wide variety. At the moment, we are focusing on World War II, so we have a very strong history focus for the first term. Each subject has a knowledge organiser, so it shows the children what they're going to be learning at the beginning of the topic. So they've seen this already, and you can see this on our webpage.
Okay, and finally, where to find more information. So today our termly newsletter will be going out, which will give you all the objectives for the subjects that we're going to cover this term. You can also find all the information on our webpage and some different documents and our knowledge organisers to keep you up to date. We're not sure what's going to be happening with SATs this year as of yet, but as we get more information to us, we will communicate it out to you so that you know what's going on. If you have any questions, please speak to us as class teachers at the end of the day, or our emails are on the webpage, and you can ring the office to organise a meeting if need be. We've met lots of you already, but if you haven't come to meet us, then please feel free to drop by and say hello at the end of the day.
Thank you.